I sell Bitcoin at top, but we need to move market down. Say China ban Bitcoin. Nah, sure, we used it 15 times already. But it still works. Oh, okay, I try. Yeah, hello, internet. Yeah, see, this is a big cheaper bank of China. Yeah, we ban Bitcoin now. What? What? Oh, dear God, China's banning Bitcoin. Sell it all.
The turmoil in the Chinese capital and currency markets giving a bid to BK's favorite, cryptocurrency. That would be Bitcoin. So what's behind this rally, BK?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We mentioned U.S. Steel earlier, and Bitcoin over the last week has a $13 billion market cap. That's more than U.S. Steel, and that's bigger than Twitter. So what's going on? There's a couple just fundamental things going on. The first thing is just classic supply and demand. So we have demand coming from China and India. We talked about the devaluations that are occurring in China, capital flight coming from China, almost $50 billion last month. People are using Bitcoin as a digital gold and store of value in an environment like that. In India, a month ago, they, in 20 minutes, said 86% of the cash in the country is no longer valid. So they essentially demonetized the country. People then look for an alternative currency that is outside of the financial system. Bitcoin got demand from that. At the same time, you have supply declining. So we only have 5 million Bitcoin that are left. There's going to be 21 million total. 16 million are free floating. The other 5 million are going to be drip fed out to the market over the next 100 years. So you don't have anything like in gold where the price goes up and you have a supply response from the miners. In Bitcoin, that's not going to happen. There's 5 million left. So you have increasing demand smashing right into decreasing supply. And what do you get? Well, you get a smart board that doesn't work. But the other thing you get is you get a Chinese yuan highly correlated to Bitcoin. OK, that's been happening over the last month or so. And then the second, here we go. That's the chart right there. Look at that. This has been for almost a year. And if you actually look at what Bitcoin does, it tends to move a week or two ahead of the yuan. So you can kind of get an idea of where that rate's going to be. And then finally, you might ask, BK, is it too late to buy Bitcoin?
BK, is it too late to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, you know what,
BK.
Thanks so much for asking that. It's not too late to buy Bitcoin.
If you looked at Bitcoin yesterday, you'd have seen that it was close to a record high level, but then overnight it fell as much as 23%. It's cut those losses in half, but it happened in just a matter of hours, and it was in response to a surprise surge in the Chinese yuan after reports that Beijing was clamping down on outflows and also some reports of possible intervention in the currency market. Bitcoin's become a convenient way for investors to move money quickly, anonymously, and cheaply away from financial systems where currencies are getting devalued or that are under strict capital controls. For that reason, Bitcoin and the yuan have developed something of an inverse relationship. When the yuan falls, more capital flees to decentralized vehicles like Bitcoin, and when the yuan rises, Bitcoin sharply corrects. Now, past spikes, you might remember in Bitcoin, they occurred during the financial crises in southern Europe, in Greece and Cyprus, when depositors in those countries feared that their money would just vanish overnight, that it would be taken back by regulators or by the government. Bitcoin's current run, though, it began this fall on the back of production being cut in the coins themselves. And then on top of that, you had the U.S. election and interest rate hike that added a 1-2 punch, sending the dollar surging, the peso to a record low against the dollar, and the euro now many strategists are saying will fall below parity. So while today's losses, as I mentioned, have been cut in half, it is a good reminder when you look at this wild, almost hyperbolic run, Kelly, that what goes up often comes down and in a very dramatic way.
When we saw Brian Kelly saying it was like a 5 standard deviation move after this run up, it was just huge, a huge surge, and yet now, of course, kind of coming back. But you know what? I love the Bitcoin gold comparison as well. I don't know if we have the chart, but you know, the prices of these two are almost about to inflect. You know, if you at least before today's big declines. So I don't know if it's just people expressing, oh, there we go, a little bit of a different appetite for how they have these kind of safe haven, flight to safety.
Well, safe haven depends on where you are investing from. The view, Bob, as you know well, the view of a safe haven asset from someone in the U.S. is vastly different for the safe haven asset of someone in China, India, or Mexico.
Absolutely right. And I think currencies can be the grand adjustment factor. So I think we're going to get a lot of volatility in currencies during the course of this year because there are a lot of global uncertainties, politics, economics, interest rates, earnings. So like currencies will be the grand adjustment and lots of trading back and forth.
But do Bitcoin and gold serve different functions, or are they two different?
They're certainly related, as kind of pointed out. They're different in the way they operate, but they're a subset of the bigger story with currencies.
I joked yesterday on Twitter that they were about the same price, and that they're both these kind of abstract, stateless assets, right? That people think that when things really go down and we can't hold dollars or anything else,
you're not mining Bitcoin in your basement. You don't have gold bullion sitting in your closet.
And you know, it's otherwise useless, or it's a pure abstraction. I mean, that's really what we're talking about.
I mean, the other comparison, I suppose, is to look at Macau gambling stocks. So if it's actually a proxy for capital controls and the release valve for capital outside of China, then you could probably find another correlation. But you could keep doing this forever,
sure,
finding correlations. But I actually I'm going to look at that chart myself later.
No, it's really interesting. I mean, I think what it does tell you is that, yes, Bitcoin is an interesting new tool for moving capital in a way that you couldn't before. It doesn't make it a currency. You don't want a currency to have a chart that
I'm
looks
Mark
like...
Capellas, con man and CEO of Mt. Gox. Our recent loss of 750,000 Bitcoins is a tragedy which should have never happened. And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. We're sorry. I am deeply sorry. Sorry.
She used to call you on your...
She used to.
Yeah.
Talk to me, baby.
I know why she don't call you on your cell phone. Or she don't really need your shit. She won't call you on your cell phone. Now your bitch is chillin' with it. Now she like that Bitcoin dick. She said that you come too quick.
Oh no.
Our sex is like a porno flick. Even with my replaced hip. She used to call you on your cell phone. But now she's with a real OG. She used to call you on your cell phone. Now she'd like that old money. You know I'm down with OPP.
Yeah.
Other people's property.